Morning, everybody. Welcome to check. I muted. I shouldn't be. So welcome everyone. I am here for episode 6 of Untold Adventures Await in Prisma Arena, the animated series. Yesterday was quite an epic game, I think. An interesting adventure, and our heroes found themselves after traveling being caught up in the Merchants Guild attempt to acquire the Eye of Wonder, um, and um, being kind of threatened by I gotta remember the names again, by Polan. Um, they they found themselves after stopping Polan. They found themselves pretty close to Beacon. Um, just want to say hi, Paul. I realize how you make this all look so easy when you're streaming live. Um, so yeah, they find themselves outside in the far distance from Beacon, but they're a lot closer now than they were. And Ariba is visibly kind of, I think, relieved as well that he's gotten Eleanor this far, and is keen to get her to Beacon and be absolved of his kind of responsibility as her carer. Um, so I don't think there's any bookkeeping to do. I've been kind of, in my little notebook. Let me just switch the view here. So again, in the notebook here, I've been keeping track of what's been going on, summarizing the episodes as we go. And I was debating whether to shift characters for this episode, but I thought, what, Untold usually plays out over a kind of 7-episode arc, that I would just stick with it for today, and we'd continue Eleanor's journey, and then maybe next week we'd pick up with a new character. But again, we'll see how that goes. So I had an idea after yesterday's episode, which I'm going to try and tie into the opening of this one, about the Eye of Wonder and how it actually works. So I think I will just jump straight in. And we'll start playing and see what happens as we continue to go the world of Solace and Prisma Arena. I'm really happy with actually how it's going. Again, I can see my storytelling and narration improving, and how I'm using the system. Lots of neat, interesting ideas as well. And even as I've been playing the game, I've been thinking what Mocon I really need to create to add into the game, because of the ones that I want to call in the storyline. So I might actually start doing that. I was trying to stick to the Mocon that we had within the game, but I think I'm going to broaden it out a little bit and really think, what kind of feeling or emotion do I want to call on in this moment? And I'll make note of them, because then they'll probably rise to the list of Mocon we actually might want to create for the game as well. Okay, so I'm going to shift my seat slightly, and we're going to jump in by revealing the first tile, which, as always, is a dangerous dilemma. And I'm going to roll the story cubes. And again, there is always the option within this first tile to carry forward a location from a previous game. So this is what you want. So we are, well, let's see how the episode opens. The episode ended with us kind of in the distance with Beacon in front of us. And again, for those who might have missed it, I'm going to pull this down from the shelf. So showing it under here, this is Beacon, the home of the Prisma Arena. We can see Hope slumbering beneath it. And we're kind of like, I think, probably around by those cliffs. I think we came out kind of from around those cliffs, actually, when we came out of that chamber. Back there. Okay. So, so let's see what we want. Okay. So we start making our way towards Beacon. I think we've actually lost. I just realized we lost Buglar because of how we went through that tunnel. Yeah. So Reba has actually lost Buglar. We wish them the best of luck, and hopefully the Z treat them kindly. So as we're walking along, Ariba's torn. He's like, "We need to go back and help. I need to find the Z because he's obviously become attached to them over time." And but there's actually, we're trying to explain to them though, but there's no way to go back. The entrance to the tunnel is gone. Hopefully they will keep them safe, and maybe in the near future we can travel back to the mountains and where we can actually find them. So as we're walking along, I'm saying to them, "Hey," or Eleanor says, "Hey, you know the way the Eye of Wonder was meant to? It was a relic that could bring you or reveal where the great Mokons were. We've just appeared outside, like right close to Hope. Is it possible that the actual chamber itself was the Eye of Wonder?" Um, so the couple are debating this when they stumble upon a um, a nest um, belonging to a great, I'm going to call them as slider. And these are, they're quite big actually, I think. So I'm going to go. Kind of a snake-like creature. So I'm just writing it here in the notebook. So they're quite like the length of a but what about 2 humans long, I think. Maybe 2 or 3. And they are they're maybe known for being kind of quite erratic. What have I actually switched to the right one? So they're known for being quite erratic, I think. So and looking in it like as we're passing by, we can see it's, I'm going to say it actually is kind of like a cross between it's a spider in that it emits a web through its tail, so almost like a kind of a silkworm, I think, and it kind of wraps up its prey, and it looks like it's caught something. I'm gonna say it. It's in the process actually. So as we go up, we see it's in the process of kind of like wrapping something up in its silk. So I'm gonna obviously check and see what is it like. What has it captured? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just looking at the icons here. So it has captured. I want to say. So this kind of grabs my attention. So like I don't know whether I want to include like a magic or what it might be in the game. Oh well, my few moments of having focus have now actually gone. So they have captured. Oh yeah, let's call them an adept, who. Okay, no, I'm gonna say they're actually like a messenger. So they captured a messenger from. Well, we used this before. Maybe it's like a messenger from Tanal, who had been traveling. So again, I'll just see if I can get a better look at them there. Those three. So it's a kind of young. One of the monks has been traveling from Tanal, and I can tell that by the garb that they're wearing. So, and the slider looks like it's ready to. Well, they're planning to have them for breakfast. So I think Ariba says, I'll see if I can calm them. So Ariba's going to try and reach out and communicate with the slider and kind of tell them that these aren't going to be tasty and that they should kind of leave it be. So let's see what the outcome is. No. Sorry, something there. No. But it so nothing bad. But I think Ariba kind of can sense. Well, I'm going to say that it actually turns, so it pauses on what it's doing, and it turns towards us and decides, we're going to be food for it as well. So I think it's going to be the usual distraction thing. I'm going to summon Inu. So I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to assume I summon them, but it's whether they succeed at the thing that they're doing. So I call on Inu, who appears, and and is like kind of flitting around in the way that they do, kind of popping everywhere in their kind of, oh, look at this, oh, look over there. And I say my intention, well, I tell them to, distract the slider so we can rescue the young adept, the messenger. Sorry, I should be taking my token, shouldn't I? So it's 2 them spent, and I did spend 1 question token. Okay. Nope. But it doesn't stop us. So it doesn't kind of fully distract them. I think it takes the time to, let me see. So they start laughing, or there's some kind of funny reaction. I think we're able to kind of actually, so we don't succeed in distracting the slider, but we do manage to actually distract the messenger, who finds Inu's kind of actions quite amusing, and they aren't quite so panicked right now. So we've kind of distracted them from their kind of dilemma. Okay, so I think I'm just going to say, is they're coming closer. Is there anything around that we can use to distract the, that would be important to the slider, that we can kind of use to get its attention? So before I even look at them, I'm going to go like, what do I know about sliders? And maybe, so I turn to the others actually and say, quick, is there what do we know about sliders? What can we do to either distract it or defeat it, or like, what's it afraid of? So let's say, so Gorkin says, actually, so I'm looking at this. Gorkin says, I may have something. It's a, okay, so actually I'm going to say there's a, Gorgon says they have an actual pouch, kind of just around here in their kind of throat area, where if you can, so they were on the bridge of their nose. Let me switch to this. There's like a little pouch underneath where if you can hit that, it will, well, I don't know if it'll make them behave erratically. Okay, so maybe it'll make them behave erratically. So I'm going to channel my Prisma and attempt to maneuver into a position where I can blast them, kind of, again, using my torque to help me focus my energy into that area. Okay, so I succeed. But I think I have heard it. I think as I heard it, it kind of like slumps to the ground, and it actually kind of lands on. I'm gonna say it lands on Gorkin. Um, so as it kind of slumps down, and he cries out in pain. Okay, so I think we go and we try to untie the like cut out uh, the messenger while we can. Okay, so we succeed, and I think immediately have to ask him like kind of what what brings you to Beacon, and how'd you get caught? So I think so he says, I'm on my way to Beacon to deliver the message to the elders, and I had set up camp for the night. And when I woke up, I was the slider was in the process of tying me up, and if you hadn't found me, I don't know what would have happened. So one more question. So I asked him, like, can you tell us? You've got a message. Well, maybe ask them. How is everybody doing in Tanal after the raid? That happened in episode 4. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say it's a bit crazy at the moment, and but we've been training up. If you might remember in the last episode, I used this icon to represent a kind of a band that were being attacked. But we've basically been recruiting from the people in the encampment to start training with us as well, because word has come in that there's a lightning attack expected before the next. I'm using a lot of dice here. There's a lightning attack expected before the next ceremony. So we haven't seen the end of these. We talked about the uprising happening. It's not just a once-off thing. It's going to keep happening as the time of hope gets closer. The followers of despair are going to be, those who follow despair are going to become more kind of proactive. Okay, so let's see. So they're going to have some kind of evil ally. Thinking. So, sorry, I should switch this view. So, basically reveals the plot thickens, and we discover that the messenger, whose name will be Nadir, the messenger from Tanal, and he's like an adept monk, so he's trying to be a monk. He's got an evil ally. So I could tie things together a little bit. So as we're talking to him, this other person emerges from behind some rocks and is like, "Dear, thank God you're so safe. You're safe. I was kind of worried about you." And they, as I kind of look at them, I'm a bit suspicious. I notice that they bear the mark of the Merchants Guild. I'd love a Rangers one. Oh, well, hang on, maybe I'll go with this one. So they bear the mark of the Merchants Guild. And okay, so they've someone from the Merchants Guild is working with them. So as we're kind of packing up and walking along, I asked them, "Oh, so what brings you to now, or to Beacon?" And they say, they're saying, "I too want to talk to the elders," and they claim that they just decided to travel along with the adept when they heard that they were talking to the elders, because they wanted to do the same thing. So I'm looking at these two cubes here, and I would like to set up a and so in this case I'm going to use the symbol differently. So I kind of see this and I'm thinking Bugler. Yeah, so I'm going to see if I can interest them in some Buglar and to use them as a form of defense as well. So they can be kind of like flying mounts that they could use to protect the city. So he's here to talk to them about trying to sell them some of these things. So the obviously don't really believe him. So what can I? So I think Ariba starts talking, and because he knows about animals and herding, and so does in terms of trade. Then uh, Gorkin knows a lot about that as well. So they talk to them, and they are trying to like just see if they can pick holes in the story or make them kind of trip up and reveal something. So I'm just gonna say, like, what else do they reveal over the course of the conversation? So I want to get to the kind of true intention. I think the truth is that they want to be able to kind of like establish a line of communication with Beacon that will enable them to kind of in a way sow discord there, so that they can intentionally kind of profit from that. Yeah, so it's kind of like going to try and, by having regular contact and getting the ear of the elders, they can kind of sow the seeds of chaos by the information that they communicate from the outside world, by presenting disinformation as well. So that's my second question there. Yeah, so I think the others just kind of realize they're just he's full of lies. The way he's talking, there's no consistency to what he's saying. And I'm just going to give them a name. Goran. I'm going to call him a traitor. Spy, maybe. And he's member of the Merchants Guild. Yeah, so I think the merchants, he kind of, as he starts talking, he kind of like starts espousing this kind of he gets almost like goaded into talking about this kind of vision of how trade is everything and it will live beyond the time of hope and the time of despair. And if we can just kind of control that, then, you know, we will be the most powerful. Okay, so I think we gotta warn the elders. It's probably the main thing. You know, hopefully they'll be smart enough to see through them. But I think we want to get in first and warn them. So let's see. Okay. So we travel to Beacon, and you know, we kind of go along with the journey. And as soon as we arrive, there are like so where's Beacon? So I think I'm going to use this. So we arrive at Beacon and we actually push our way like we're kind of in a queue, and there's meant to be a process because I'm a new recruit, and I'm meant to go and kind of register for that. So like, oh yes, I think when you enter, they check people? I don't. I think they don't. No. So as we head in, Ariba turns to me and says, like, "What are you going to do?" And well, he kind of looks and goes, "I know what you're going to do." And I kind of smile at him, and I race through the city looking for. I kind of make my excuses, and I say, "I need to get to the. We need to get to the elders." Um, and I kind of head off in search of them, but the I think the um, maybe I'll try this. I see. So I head off and I turn and I see the trader. Sorry, yeah, the trader, Garan, whispering to some people, and I can see the kind of taint of despair on them, and so they set out in pursuit. And I can see them kind of splitting up, and I'm kind of moving through the city towards the there's a kind of a plaza area where the elders tend when I ask directions, they say that's where they meet up at this time of day, and they have like an open kind of like an open seating. They gather, they enjoy a kind of traditional drink, and people can come in and talk to them. So I um, start heading that direction, and I immediately realize I'm being followed. Um, so I am going to. I don't take too long. I'm going to. Um, I'm going to stop at a market stall and pretend to be. I'm going to try and actually grab some clothing from a market stall and see if I can disguise myself, kind of putting a shawl over myself. So it succeeds. But the trader's obviously not happy because I actually don't have the money on me after leaving through it. So I promise him, like, don't worry, I'll pay you back later, as I run off. So I managed to kind of hide myself, and I watch the bringers that go past me, and so I look. So, so I see them go past, and I need to get to the elders. So as they get past, I'm going to try and get to the central plaza before they do. So I'm going to see if I could succeed at that. So, sorry, first action was to take the thing. Second action, let's see if I can reach the central plaza before they get there. No. And I think as I arrive there, I feel this like punch in the stomach as they kind of like step out from around the corner and confront me. So I am winded, I think, as a result of that. I think I'm going to. do my best to see. So they're so they've hit me. I'm winded. I'm kind of in the plaza. So I almost think it's like, and this place is kind of a mixture again of like, I think ancient stone, but also kind of futuristic technology and currents, and it's powered by the kind of prismatic energy. So it's a weird kind of, I think, mix of Mediterranean style kind of buildings and kind of pathways. So I will I think I'll summon Pain actually to absorb that hurt, and I'm going to kind of rush them. Let's see if I can push past. No, so I summon Pain because I said that will always happen. But as I kind of run into them, they just kind of grab me, and I'm going to look around and see if there's anything that I can use to aid me. Okay, well, I think it's fair enough to say that I can actually see the elders are actually maybe they are leaving, and I see them. They're kind of walking closer, within calling distance. So I basically call out and yell, kind of, elders. I am Lenore, a young novice come to join to train as a guardian. Um, may I speak to you for a minute? And I'm basically being bound by the bringers. So let's hope this gets their attention. No, they just it's not. Uh, oh, no, so they don't hear me over the noise, and I think the bringers are able to kind of muffle me to prevent that from happening. The third episode got the last one. This really is not going to plan. So let's see. I'm going to try. Okay, one last time. I'm just going to summon as much Prisma energy, I think, as I can. And just use it to kind of temporarily blind them so that I can get away. Okay. Succeed. But in doing it, I've kind of overdone it and blinded like more than just the bringers. So they're kind of stunned and knocked back, but the people around us are like, "Oh, what have you done? Oh, who did that?" And they're like kind of complaining about kind of damn guardians not controlling their powers. But I managed to kind of break free. They have a dark agenda. So they're not just interested in stopping me. Okay. So as they're blinded. They say they curse me and say like yeah, literally, curse you with despair. You will never stop us from. I think. I want to say gaining control, but basically capturing. I think they. I think actually what happens is they just say you're too late. And as I look, I see more bringers actually entering and taking hold of the the elders in the town. And I'm going to say there's like 5 of them. And so they, yeah, they're kind of like the elder council. So the dark agenda is they're actually going after the elder council. So I'm going to say, how are they kind of extracting them? How are they capturing them? So I'm going to use a modified token, I think. Do I want that? So how are they kind of retaining them? No, I'm not actually, because I think they're just the way we can fire kind of channel Prisma, which is the energy of hope. They can channel the energy of despair. So they start. I think. They are just like kind of firing it around the arena, and it's almost like a kind of creating a river that is what kind of washing them towards them so they can grab them. So it's they're creating like a kind of I think a torrent of despair as it's kind of flowing around as these kind of maybe it's more than energy. It's maybe it actually looks and feels real. It's almost like a tide rising of this kind of purple black kind of like morass, and it's got like a form to it. So they're kind of using it to manipulate and move, kind of restrain the elders and bring it closer to them as well. So they managed to make off with. So they managed to catch them and make off with them. Okay. Gotta rescue the elders. Okay, so I didn't use my modified token. So where do I go? Where do we manage to catch them? Um, so I think as they're racing through the city, because we're up really high, there's going to be a river. So this kind of thinks it's either like a market, or I think it's a I'm going to say it's an abandoned kind of like uh, warehouse. No, I'm going to do something. It's going to be a bookstore. I think they take them, and as they make off, I'm able to kind of wade through. Let me see what first thing is I'm going to try and wade through this grass, and again using my own prisma to kind of push it off me, to repel it. Okay, so succeed. And okay, I think I'm able to help more people around me. So when they see what I'm doing, they're like, the kind of residents and town workers are saying, "You got to help the elders. Go!" And they kind of part, enable me to run after them. So I chase after them and I catch up with them at the. I get to a bookstore. So it's a kind of it's an area in Beacon that has like kind of it might actually be the learning quarter. Yes, that's it. Actually, instead of a bookstore, it's kind of like the learning area. Let's go the kind of university area, where there are these kind of incredible buildings, and statues to famous people as well, and the um, trader, as I'm kind of chasing after them, Goran steps out and kind of trips me and tries to knock me to the floor. So I'm going to see if I can, I think, keep my balance, which is a second action, to avoid falling. So I do. I manage to I kind of stumble, but I keep my grip, and I yell out to the people around him and say, like, restrain him until I can get back. Okay, so they do, but it's actually yeah, he's furious and he's struggling with the people, so he's not going to go easily. But I think there's enough of them gathered around in a circle around him to basically kind of keep him in place until we can talk to him later. So I again, as I run through the district, more bringers step out and they blast me with despair. So I'm going to say they step out and tried to capture me in a kind of a ball, or that kind of miasma of despair. And I can begin to feel it kind of seeping into me. And I call out for. I think at this point it's. Again, I think it's done for the confidence to withstand this and keep my cool long enough. So actually, so again, example of the mocons that we don't have here. So I'm going to call on Cam to enable me to kind of keep my cool and not be overcome with despair. Okay, no, I'm kind of losing it a little bit. So I think I'm still in the bubble, and it's bought me a little bit of time. So I think in this case, I'm just gonna keep trying. So again, I'm gonna focus some more. I'm gonna use the torque that I have to just kind of breathe and have Cam kind of like absorb the despair. Okay, so they succeed. But as that despairs, the rest of the there's like two bringers. No, actually, that look I think is I see them actually bundling the they're bundling the elders into a kind of a flying vehicle of some kind, like a kind of transporter. There's one waiting for them in the kind of that's landing in the plaza and is trying to take them. So I've got one last thing. Is that 1, 2, 3? I think I have 4. I think I've got 2 left. I might have lost track there. So I'm going to blast at the. Going to yell actually at the because there will be guardians here of hope, kind of on watch. So I yell for their aid as I also try to blast the who am I going to blast? I think I'm going to just try and blast the wing. Oh no! Blast the wing of the kind of jet to destabilize it, so it won't take off. So maybe it's taking off, and I'm blasting it to try and see if I can cripple it a little bit. No, I haven't done much punch, so I'm actually going to run up and now I'm going to blast it. Let's see if I succeed. No. Okay, I think I don't stop it, but I've definitely, I think, made the controls a little bit more erratic. And so I one last attempt. Well, I think my butt is the guards are actually underway. So they will. So I think with the guards' help, we. So I think I'm going to try and leap into the ship before it manages to get away. No, but okay. So I don't manage to get into the ship, but I think I'm hanging on by my bare fingertips. So I think that's a perfect way to end the episode. The kind of the ship is taking off. Is essentially extracting the bringers of despair. They've bundled the elders onto it, and I am clinging on for dear life with I think a whole bunch of Mokon popping and appearing beside me as I go through panic and fear and kind of have feelings of adrenaline. Whew. Didn't think that was going to end there. So I think technically we're ending on a cliffhanger today. And we'll be back when we come back tomorrow. It'll be the final episode of the series, episode 7. Hopefully we'll tie up some loose ends. Hopefully we'll rescue the elders. And I can finally begin my training officially in with the Prisma Arena. Because I think I need to work on my combat, I think, a little bit to get better. So yeah, nice closing scene hanging onto the ship as it flies off into the distance with I think Gorkin and Ariba running in, and we see the trader Goran is being secured. I think we see Guardians preparing to take off because they at that level they have kind of essentially like kind of jetpacks that they can use for some limited flight, and and I think the adept, the messenger has caught up with Gorkin as well and is being used about what's transpired here. Well, actually, I think they're slinking away because we did say they had an evil ally, so I think he kind of knew what was going on. Yeah, so that's the end of episode 6. Tune in tomorrow sometime, 10 o'clock, and if you want to actually see the game being played, myself and Michael will be playing from 2 p.m. today on our live stream as we've been leveling up our characters. Where Michael's character is actually a guardian and I am a channeler, kind of level 3, haven't quite reached level 4 yet. So either way, I hope to see you online for that live stream, or tomorrow 10 o'clock for tomorrow's for episode 7, the conclusion of season 1 of Prisma Arena, the animated series. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you same time, same bat channel tomorrow. Take care, and we are out.